Excuse me, sir? You support Israel?
Yes, I do.
Who sent you?
Who sent me?
Yes.
Nobody.
Who sent you, bro? Like, that ass.
No, nobody. I'm doing this on my own.
Like, nobody sent you here to do this?
Nope.
He's like, I'm a willful idiot.
Or who do you work for, bro?
I don't work for nobody.
I'm trying to get the
I work for that Israeli spit. I love when they spit on me.
check, too. I'm trying to get the bag. Bro, I'm trying to get that bag, bro. Like, come on.
There is
No,
bag.
bro. How much? You got that 7K yet, bro?
There is no
That's even more despicable. You're not even getting paid for this?
Bro, I'm trying to get that 7K, bro. Who put you up to this, bro? I want the bag, too, bro. This is love of the game right here?
Not how it works.
This is love of the game right here?
That's a straight lie. I'm telling you.
I want the 7. Put me on the method, bro.
Put me on the method, bro.
Bro, come on. I want the bag, bro. Come on.
Sell me some toilet paper.
How it works. There is no 7K. I'm telling you.
This is love of the game?
I'm telling you the love of the game.
All right, I'm about to make a call right now, bro. Get off this block. All right, say no more. Airstrike coming soon. We can't stand.
Bro called in an airstrike. Here's a good question. We should take a poll right now. Does Israel ruin the peace deal before Friday? I say yes. What do you say? Aaron Monte says, I miss liberal cringe. MAGA cringe is too painful. This is from the UFC fight yesterday.
And lastly,
Michelle Obama is a man, he says.
Moshel Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Ladies and gentlemen.
This will be a good photo to show our kids for when the end of U.S. empire, what that looked like, the White House in the backdrop. Elon Mitzrah, he says, people, institutions, and movements that participated in or defended the extermination of Gaza's children should never be allowed to speak about children. In fact, they should never be allowed to speak at all ever again to anyone about anything. Hard to argue with that. Thank you for the gifted membership from the IDF Kills Children. Special bonus points for that immaculate profile picture. One for the books right there. Thank you, friend. Apparently, reports of explosions in the Strait of Hormuz were being reported 3 hours ago. Cenk Uygur sums it up. He says, Trump says Lebanon is included in the peace deal and Israel has to withdraw from southern Lebanon. Netanyahu says they won't do that. They will continue to attack in Lebanon, Gaza, and Syria. The answer is obvious. Cut them off. Yeah, like that's going to happen. If that happens, Trump is a dead man. This is a good meme, kind of encapsulates everything. It's really cool to live in the United States at this point in history, because it's like the collapse of the Roman Empire, but with Wi-Fi, right? We lived through the collapse of the Roman Empire. We're living through it right now. Okay, so Donald Trump says Iran getting 300 he says million. I think that's a typo. He meant 300 billion for war damages. He says that's fake news. Well, apparently fake news is J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance confirms that Iran will get $300 billion for reparations in this war.
Walk through some of this. The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So we absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have a nuclear weapon. So
yes.
I think the dance you're going to see, Ed,
I think we're seeing a dance right now. We're seeing a dance from J.D. Dance Vance, who's mental gymnasticsing his way through this answer. But really, it's a short answer. The answer is yes. We're going to allow Iran to acquire $300 billion to pay for our war, which is crazy because normally when the United States starts a war with a country, we make that country pay for the war that we started.
What's going to be interesting is the Iranian media, especially the hardline media, they're going to talk a lot about what they get without talking about what they give. It's important for all of us to correct that record.
So who's telling the truth here? J.D. Vance, who shit his pants and now is doing a dance on live TV? Or is it Donald Jewish Presitard Trumpstein? Here they are in the movies, and this is what they look like in real life. But who controls Hollywood? Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't be an anti-Semite. Stop that. Look at this. A cat is making its way from Gaza back to Israel. A cat from Gaza didn't want to leave the IDF jeep. Isn't that so sweet? So the soldiers decided to take him to Israel and promised to find him a loving home that would take care of him. He's on his way to Israel. His life is going to change completely. Well, I said, poor cat's about to get sodomized. That's so sad. Life's going to completely change, definitely. His life is going to change to death, be the end of his life. That'll be life-changing for that cat, sadly. The most important thing about the partisan argument, says Sony Thang, Democrats blame Republicans? Republicans blame Democrats is not that it is dishonest. It's that it's functional. It keeps the population's political energy inside a closed circuit. Isn't this something that we like to impress upon our viewers here in this live stream? Yes. Yes. The argument is real. The emotions are real. People genuinely believe their party would do it differently. That belief is what makes the circuit work. Yes. They induce our consent, right? With these illusions. If people knew the argument was going nowhere, they would stop having it and start asking different questions. The argument must feel meaningful while producing nothing. This is not difficult to engineer in a media environment where both parties have incentives to blame each other, and neither has an incentive to question the institution that both depend on. You identified the circuit. Most people are still inside the box, generating the heat, going nowhere every 4 years, right on schedule. What a scam. Israel is continuing to drop toxic chemicals on farmland in southern Lebanon. We're talking about catastrophic levels of glyphosate, a chemical linked to cancer, 11,000 times above safe levels. I fucking these people, man. Fucking shit, they're the worst. Every day is obligatory fuck Israel day. By the way, here's a friendly reminder for you folks. Nothing in the Bible commands you to support a country founded in 1948 by the Rothschilds. Hundreds of Stanford graduates have walked out of Google CEO Sundar Pichai and his speech. Just as he takes the stage, they all chant Free Palestine. You love to see it. Fuck you, Google.
I must warn you all, this is only the second commencement speech I've ever given. The first was literally in my backyard.
It's like oh, look, he's had such a comeuppance, hasn't he? He started from the bottom, now he's here getting heckled by college students because he supports a genocide that makes him a billionaire.
It was the spring of...
It was the spring of, he's trying to go through his origin story and everybody's walking out. That's hilarious.
Was literally in my backyard. It was the spring of...
It was the spring of 1967 and I said, maybe we should start supporting Israel. Maybe that is a way for me to make more money. Here's Sean Strickland. There's the video. We just saw a picture of him getting escorted out of the White House UFC event. I don't know if he was wearing that shirt. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files because that might have been an AI photo, but he was kicked out of the event. Here's the video. He's laughing too as it happened. Yep, good on those graduates. Thank you, Boop.
Yo, I cannot believe that, bro.
How the fuck y'all gonna lock up the middleweight chick?
Pretty sure I didn't break them all. I'm pretty sure. But I'm about to go to jail.
Why he has his cell phone in the paddy wagon? That is anti-Semitic. He's still able to deliver anti-Semitic messages even in incarceration? Wait till my lawyer hears about this. Here's the White House in 2026. This was yesterday. This is what the end of empire looks like, folks. Look at this. Fights are breaking out. A UFC fan brawls at the White House. Oh my god, dude. Look at this shit.
Yo, watch out. Cops. You're going to jail, bro. You fucked up.
Hey, he just attacked me. Hey.
No, stop! Get down! Get down!
Get down! Get down on the ground!
I got you, bro. I got you.
Can you imagine if they were black? Well, they wouldn't have done it anyway. But yeah, that's what it's come down to. Our government is a mockery. It's a circus. When you elect a clown into the Oval Office, you know, it's not like the clown becomes the president. It's the Oval Office that becomes the circus. Matt Kennard is a fantastic journalist. I highly recommend his book, and a regular army about the U.S. military. Okay, Kelly, we hear you, we see you. Thank you for your donation. Matt Kennard. Keep that in mind. I've got a lot of new books I'm really happy and inspired about reading, and this is chief among them right here. It's called The Destiny of Civilization. It's finance capitalism, industrial capitalism, or socialism. And this is by Michael Hudson, and I hope to have him on the show at some point because he is just a wealth of knowledge. I've been learning all about the mechanisms of finance capitalism and how it's basically an aberrant deviation of industrial capitalism. I hope to do a deep dive on it once I learn more and am able to structure his arguments better. I'd like to come up with like a little lesson to explain it to my audience. And I like listening to him. I listen to him a lot on on his podcast that he gets on, and he's just, it's like listening. There's certain people that I listen to where they're so profound. Everything that they say, every sentence that they say is backed by decades of analysis. So it's just they've refined themselves so much, and I hope to one day be able to achieve that level of rhetoric. But he's incredibly persuasive, and the way that he encapsulates it all. I kind of want to do that for my audience, so I'm learning from him a lot about finance capitalism. And Travis is here. Welcome in, Travis. Thank you for your solidarity and for your patronage here. What's up? I hope the new job is going well for you, friend. Good to see you. That's right. Financial capitalism is purely parasitic. Absolutely. And just wait. I'm gonna tear into it, man. I've been learning so much. I've been taking all kinds of notes about this because I really want to have the language down, because we've entered into a new epoch of capitalism, and it's like how people say late stage. It's finance capitalism. It's completely untethered to the industrial economy. It's all fake and gay, and it's our entire economy is just a financial overhead. It's all for debt servicing. There's nothing actually being produced of value. The cost of production doesn't even relate anymore to the profits that these companies make are completely untied from the actual cost of producing the product. You feel me? Gabe Einhorn, look at this guy. If you drew him, it would be an anti-Semitic hate crime. This guy's name is Gabe Einhorn. Why did I repost this? I have no idea. I didn't even read it. I just like whenever I see a Zionist crashing out about their Jewish victimhood, I have to laugh. My name is Gabe Einhorn, he says. I'm a 24-year-old founder, which verifies renters' identity and income. Oh, yes, for the rentier-based economy. We love that. Another Jew building software to verify to surveil renters, to surveil consumers in this economy and match them with apartments that they can actually afford. For landlords, of course, this helps them fill units faster, increases occupancy. That's great. Way to go, Gabe. He says, I posted last week about an anti-Semitic incident, and since then it has blown up everywhere. Social media is flooded with people who hate Jews, and their only goal is to try to destroy us. As you see below, this guy just wants to destroy my business, and I'm a Jew. He'll take down any Jewish person. I'm pretty sure you're a Zionist, Gabe. Thank God. He says there are many good people out there who've been supporting me and who are standing up to the hate. If you are seeing this and want to be involved with what we are building, please reach out. So here's the anti-Semitism. I was just about to ask, is the anti-Semitism in the room with us? Well, apparently this guy, Mo Khan, says, damage Gabe Einhorn by leaving his business a 1-star review on Google. Oh my God. This guy is literally calling for another Holocaust. You want to write a 1-star review for Gabe Einhorn's software app enabling the rentier class? How dare you? This is reaching new levels of anti-Semitism. It's time to show the Jews they can't keep destroying lives without consequences. And the name of the company is, I can't even pronounce it. He's like, I've got this great new Jewish idea for an app. Are you ready? It's called yeah, it's very memorable. It's called It's gonna be great. People can't even pronounce it. Apparently Barron Trump was spotted for the first time in a few months at the UFC event, looking like he just had a coke bender over the weekend. Stu Peters says the whole family is weird as fuck. Drug addicts, sexual perverts, pedophiles, mass murderers, and racketeering war criminal traitors to America. Persona non grata. That should be the Trump family going forward in the future. So Israel's defense minister says Israel will not be withdrawing from Lebanon. We expect more sabotage in the coming hours. Here's a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene responding to $300 billion to Iran. Trump has agreed to give Iran $300 billion for reconstruction costs after Trump bombed Iran. That's not the American way. We bomb countries and then make them pay for our bombs. This is not the American way, Trump. Let's see what Marjorie Taylor Greene has to say.
So I'm reading today that in the U.S.-Iran proposed peace deal that is supposedly going to be signed later this week. This is after we've been told at least 38 to 40 times that there's going to be a peace deal, but supposedly there's one. There is an agreement that there will be $300 billion be given to Iran for reconstruction and investments for Iran. Now, I'm assuming this comes from the American taxpayer, and I want to tell you that's a bunch of bullshit. This is a war that Americans did not support. As a matter of fact, we said no more foreign wars, and that's what we voted for in 2024. Well, Trump decided to bomb Iran and go to war against Iran on behalf of his good friend Bibi Netanyahu in Israel, and he's on record saying that he did this for Israel, while he claimed that it was to stop Iran from having a nuclear weapon. By the way, former DNI Tulsi Gabbard told Congress that Iran was nowhere close to having a nuclear weapon, and so did other nuclear regulatory agencies, said Iran was nowhere close to having a nuclear weapon, but Trump went ahead and bombed them anyway. Well, this cost Americans approximately $2 billion a day and depleted much of our weapons and ammunitions that we need for our country's defense. But let's add on to that. What else did it do? You know what it did? It drove the cost of gasoline that hurt the average American citizen. Drove it to over $4.50 a gallon, drove diesel up close to $6 a gallon, and much higher prices if you live in states like California. So not only have Americans already paid the price at the pump, also including inflation went up. We've been paying $2 billion a day for Trump's war in Iran and Israel's war in Iran. And now we're getting told that we may have to pay an additional $300 billion to rebuild what Trump and Netanyahu decided to bomb. This is a bunch of bullshit.
That's just what an anti-Semite would say, wouldn't they? MTG. So Trump even fell asleep at his own birthday party for his own UFC Freedom 250 event. He's tired, folks. The Donald is tired of your shit. He's got one foot in the grave. In memory of all the journalists killed in the Gaza right strike for my live stream, they'll take me down and then you'll never see me because I played you that song. How'd I do? Speaking of being censored by YouTube, apparently the Palestine News Network just got deleted off YouTube. Hi, Palestine News Network. We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our harassment policy. Because of this, we have removed your channel from YouTube. Yep, it gets the Palestine treatment. Oh, you said the P word, you're out of here. They had 40,000 new subscribers since March. This is my worst nightmare right here. It's like we really need to find alternative forms of media that people will go to besides these mega corporations who are all bought and sold by Zionists. So more in the Zionist crashing out department on Twitter, Laura Loomer says, I think we can all agree after this deal that Israel does not, in fact, control Donald Trump or America. So many of you fell for Podcastistan, Russian and Islamic propaganda peddled by Iran, Qatar, and Turkey. I feel attacked. She's attacking me right now. I am Podcastistan / Russian and Islamic propaganda peddled by Iran, Qatar, and Turkey. I wonder if the people who fell for this lie wake up and regret their life decisions. I wonder if she regrets her plastic surgery. How embarrassing for them. Donald Trump is his own man, and the United States is a sovereign nation. Israel bad, Jew bad is an op to help the Red-Green Alliance take over America. Why do they call it the Red-Green Alliance? I mean, I know what they mean. It's like Islamic communists, probably, is what I read into that. The Red-Green Alliance refers to two primary concepts, an eco-socialist political party in Denmark. Denmark! Martin, you know about this? And a broader socio-political theory describing the convergence of progressive leftists and Islamists. Yeah, see, there it is, red-green. I guess green is, Hamas, red is commie, Red-Green Alliance. Sure thing. At this rate, thanks to the propaganda, a Democrat will be president in 2028. Oh no, the horror. Hopefully people will snap out of their woke, Reich, hypnosis sin. Do you guys like my Laura Loomer impression? Been working on it. I spend like hours in front of the mirror in my bathroom looking at myself and talking like Laura Loomer. And I'm like looking at myself, I'm like, damn, you look like really good today. Great. I'm like, look at your face is so handsome. That's how I talk myself up. No, I don't do that. Come on. That is gross. But the voice is kind of funny, right? No, the Danes are not great. In fact, that's a myth. The Danish, I mean, Shakespeare knew this. Okay, that's why he wrote Hamlet. He said there's something rotten in the state of Denmark. Yeah, that thing is the Danish. It's like, don't give the Danes Denmark. They'll fucking ruin it. They'll turn it into what the Jews turned Palestine into, a fucking cesspool for heathen paganistic debauchery of Babylonian proportions. That's the Danes for you. Threat to national security, if I've ever seen one. We need to eliminate the Danish threat, and we need to curtail the Danish lobby and its stranglehold on American politics. No? You guys, you don't agree? Look, it's a hot take. It's not a popular opinion, but it's something that I'm going to live and die on that hill. Trump's Iran deal is fake, says Savvy Sabs. Trump lied, corporate media lied, they are playing a game. No shit. I mean, not no shit, Savvy, but like, we feel you, Savvy. That's completely true. Benjamin Netanyahu says he will not comply with President Trump's peace deal with Iran and will strike Iran and Lebanon whenever he deems necessary. Let's do some translating. The question, let's see. Will you strike alone in Iran again, or will you strike independently in Lebanon? A few questions, he says. There was a question. Well, President Trump and I, buffering, Israel, we often see eye to eye, and there are also instances where we see less eye to eye. Less eye to eye. That's a cope. I am responsible for Israel's security interests. Standing to do this wisely requires a lot of experience and a lot of diapers. A lot of understanding and a lot of familiarity. Whatever, dude. Here's Ben Gavir crashing out. 19 hours ago, he writes this TLDR. Trump's agreement does not bind us, he says. Israel's not subject to the United States. We are independent. We're an independent and sovereign nation. They're always crying about how independent and sovereign they are. They cry too much about this. It makes me think the opposite. Our duty is to the citizens of Israel, to the soldiers of the IDF, and to the Jewish people, and our historical duty to the persecuted and murdered Jews over thousands of years of exile to provide security to Jews in the land of Israel. Man, the Jews have just had a horrible time in the annals of history. Every time we succumbed to international pressure at the expense of Israel's security, we paid a blood price with interest. Those Jews, man, they love their interest. They always liken blood to money. You know, the analogy is always goes back to money. It's crazy. Blood price with interest. The only terms that they understand are financial, right? It's because they lack humanity. It was true in the Oslo Accords, it was true in the Lebanon Agreement in 2006, and it was true in every period of containment in Gaza that exploded in our faces. We emphasize, we love the United States. We're grateful to President Trump, and yet the state of Israel is not a banana republic. That's funny coming from Ben Gavir for all kinds of reasons, which we won't get into, but I'm thinking chiefly about how the Knesset is rubber stamped with legal approval the graping and the execution of Palestinian detainees as a matter of policy in their country. But sure, it's not a banana republic. It's a genocidal one, though, and states that commit genocide deserve to have their statehood revoked. I say these things to the Prime Minister all the time and repeat them in closed rooms at every important historical juncture. In historical moments, a historical decision must be made. My position is clear. We are not partners to this agreement that does not ensure our security, and it does not bind us in any way. So those historical antagonisms, those contradictions in geopolitics, they're now being tested. There's friction, and we're taking note of this. The Israeli-American alliance is being tested right now. Will it hold? I don't think anything about this. I mean, this is just insanely toxic, right? I don't think anything about this partnership is going to be sustainable long-term, of course, especially given the state actors on their side, like just listening to how belligerent they are. We must not compromise on anything less than the dismantling of Hezbollah, he says. We must not withdraw from any territory that our fighters have captured and cleared of terror infrastructure. This is part and parcel with every other past iteration of a peace deal. This theme of the Israelis crying about how they're sovereign and they're not going to accept any peace deal that the Americans make with Iran because they're big and mighty and sovereign, of course, and that's why they're really upset that Americans have made this peace deal. If they were so independent and sovereign, they wouldn't have to tell us, they wouldn't have to profess it so much, you know? The fact that they're always crowing about how independent and sovereign they are actually speaks to their insecurity about how independent and sovereign they are, because if you were independent and sovereign, you wouldn't have to tell us so much. Every post we see is like, Israel has the right to exist. No, we are a country, though. We are legitimate. We are sovereign. We are independent. I mean, do you see would any other country be on and on about this in that same way? I don't think so, because other countries are actually rooted in like heritage and tradition and culture and, a long-lasting civilization, a society that has existed like Iran for thousands of years. But you can't say that for this contrived artifice known as the settler colony of the ethno-state of Israel. It just doesn't work that way. That's why you're so insecure about everything, because you really don't have a good stake in the ground for your country. You're not really that secure. You've only been around for less than, Donald Trump has been alive. There's people living today that are older than the state of Israel. They don't have really a good claim to the land. So he's asserting his dominance, his independence, says Ben-Gvir. Certainly we must not remain silent for a moment in the face of fire directed at the state of Israel. We must make it clear every launch of a drone, UAV, or missile toward Israel from Lebanon will lead to an Israeli strike in Dahaya. That's their Dahaya doctrine, right? That was the deterrence balance just a few months ago, and we must not give it up in any way. And above all, we must make it clear to everyone, the people of Israel is a people of 3,000 years. You see what I'm saying? They have to constantly reiterate this talking point because it's not sticking. Nobody believes them. They have to keep... Don't forget, we're 3,000 years old. The eternal people that does not fear a long road. We have faith in the creator of the universe, says he. We are a strong and proud people that return to its homeland strong and proud. We're definitely strong and proud. We're definitely independent and sovereign. Please don't put in the papers that we're not strong and proud and independent and sovereign. And does not intend to lower its gaze before enemies anymore. The days are over when the Jew took blows and kept silent. Never again. As he slinks away, turning into a corn cob. All right, that's the full clip of Netanyahu's press conference. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I think we get the gist of it. It's Israeli defiance for the terms agreed upon by the Americans and the Iranians. This is a great clip. We're probably going to watch this like for the next hour because it brings us so much joy. Are you ready for this? Here he comes. Oh! Nope. Everybody clap. Oh my God. And freeze. Oh, that was so good. So good. That doorway is anti-Semitic. 80 is now the new 105, everyone. May your day be filled with algae, dark clouds, and severe thunderstorms, you miserable fat fuck. Don't talk about my presitard like that. Look at that hairstyle, top left. What do you call that? It's like a bowl cut into a mullet. He's turning into the Harkonnen guy. Poland now says that Itamar Ben-Gvir must be arrested and tried. Imagine that, Poland. Also, imagine making $11 an hour and defending a trillionaire, and yet go to Twitter right now and you'll see just that very thing. What's your stance on Palestine?
Brother, sorry to bother you. May I ask you your stance on Palestine? You look like a kind individual.
I support Palestine.
We can
I support
tell
Palestinian liberation.
You're a lovely individual. God loves you. You're going to be... Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
That guy's definitely getting his 72 virgins. That's just a joke. That's just a joke. Here it is. This is what I was trying to quote earlier so eloquently, but I couldn't do it. When a clown moves into a palace, he doesn't become a king. The palace becomes a circus. Boom. Roasted. Donald Trump is now officially 80 years old as of yesterday, so it's official. His age is actually higher than his IQ, finally. Look at that grandpa. He looks older with the cowboy hat for some reason. He's decaying before our very eyes. All power and respect to Tom Hardy, who says, I no longer care about my career, but about the Palestinian children. He's one of the good ones. Thank you, Tom, for doing what most in Hollywood are not doing, risking their careers to stand up to injustice. Another pro-Palestine protester in Germany. Looks like she's about to get arrested. Look how tough they are. The Gestapo is asserting its dominance in Berlin. What did you say, shirt taco? Talking about tacos? I don't speak German. Deutschland. They say that Eric Trump was trying to insider trade or, rig the UFC. Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, was busted for attempting to take part in rigging the UFC. Eric messaged Daniel Cormier, I don't know who that is, to try and place bets on rigged UFC fights. Is anyone surprised? This crime family has been insider trading every aspect of the presidency and making billions, including during the Iran war. Even Trump's Epstein-connected commerce secretary was caught making billions front-running tariff announcements. Daniel has now deleted the posts, seemingly after coming under intense pressure. MAGA cultists are coping hard and saying it's a joke. Read it for yourself. He clearly wasn't joking. Daniel Cormier says, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for bringing this to light, however, I refuse to stay silent. The UFC is a sport that I am deeply passionate about. I will not tolerate this type of insider behavior. Shame on anyone trying to ruin this beautiful event. And these are text messages from Eric Trump on Twitter, I think, DMs. It says, hey, Daniel, I'm going to be attending UFC 250 tomorrow. Saw you were casting. Hope to see you there. Daniel responds, yo, Eric, didn't expect a DM from you. Excited to meet you and the family. Much love, brother. He says, anything you can tell me about the fighters tomorrow? Who you got winning? You placing any bets? Daniel responds, no, I'm actually not allowed to bet on any cards or anything. Eric continues, prying. He says, are any of the fighters injured that you know of? Again, he responds, I'm not quite sure why you're asking me this, but I think they're all in good shape. He says, I'll just cut to the chase. Are any of the fights tomorrow rigged? I've been eyeing that Lopez fight, and I think an upset wouldn't be too unrealistic. $. So Daniel shares that. Then later on, he's confronted. Daniel Cormier is confronted with, why did you delete those tweets, Daniel? I mean, I think we know why. Bro got the call, right? Shapiro Steen said, shut it down. Well, Daniel says, oh, it was just a joke. I was just joking, and you guys ate it up. It didn't sound like he was joking. So I'll let you be the judge. Do you think Eric Trump would be capable of doing something like this? It does sound very on brand, doesn't it? The people that are making money off of bombs being sent to Gaza, killing children, would be incapable. It would be unthinkable for them to bet on a fight with insider knowledge. No way. There's just no way. Socialism doesn't work. Did a satanic billionaire pedophile tell you that? Maybe. Laura Loomer wishes President Trump a happy birthday. It's really gone downhill since JFK, huh?
Happy birthday.
Laura Loomer is Donald Trump's. Haters will say it's AI. So here's another thing about. So apparently, Sports Illustrated reported on this. So it's a serious story. Sports Illustrated reports that the deleted Daniel Cormier post claims Eric Trump wanted insider UFC White House info. The post, former Cormier's account, was deleted shortly after it went live, but enough time had passed. People, to take screenshots of it and for it to become a story. Here's the main card from the UFC event last night. Taco versus ketamine. I think it was a draw. Boycott, divest, and sanction Israel now, says Sabby Sabs. Israel's settlers are burning down the villages of Deir Dibwan and Burqa in the West Bank. We just saw that video of that 92-year-old from Deir Dibwan who survived being burned to death. Apparently, this is the larger story here. They set a mosque on fire, torched several vehicles, and poured gasoline on an elderly man, that's the guy we just saw a clip of, in an attempt to burn him alive. And there's the footage of it. But don't notice, because that would be anti-Semitic of you, of course. More footage of that. Iran has closed its airspace, but that was from yesterday. So they were going to attack Israel last night after Israel attacked Lebanon, but apparently the Americans have convinced Iran to hold on to the deal. Hold on for one more day. Michael from Colorado has a message.
My name's Michael. I'm from Colorado. I'm here today to say, stand with Hamas. And also, fuck Israel. You know, they're doing genocide and have been for 75 years. And it's only way...
78.
The only way forward is through armed
But go off.
resistance, which is what Hamas is doing. So that's why I'm here today. My name's Michael.
Good on you, Michael from Colorado. Apparently, President Trump was pissed about the strike on Dahlia last night. He says, why did BB have to do a fucking attack? I was so pissed off. I'm sure he was. Trump says BB has no fucking judgment. I don't know where that's being leaked from. Yeah, but good cop, bad cop, we're not buying that shit no more, please. So silly. Haaretz is reporting, humiliated by Trump on the Iran front, Netanyahu may set the Middle East ablaze. President Trump says Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is a very difficult guy, end quote. He should be very thankful to us, because if Iran had a nuclear weapon, Israel wouldn't be around. Dr. Morandi, in reference to Israel's strike against Dahlia, says Netanyahu's stupidity backfired. This is a historic retreat by the evil empire. Any violation of the agreement will be met with a heavy-handed response by Iran and the axis of resistance. There are two kinds of people in this world. People who yesterday celebrated Donald Trump's birthday, and people who yesterday celebrated Che Guevara's birthday. Yes, they had the same birthday. I'm in the latter camp. I don't know about you. Every circus needs a clown. There's the White House before, and here's the White House now.